March 16, 2012, Sierra Lamar, a vibrant 15-year-old girl, vanished on her way to school in Morgan Hill, California. The disappearance of Sierra Lamar shocked the small town and sparked one of the most intensive searches in the history of California. Days turned into weeks, weeks turned into months, and months turned into years. But the search for Sierra continued. Every corner of the town was combed, every lead was pursued, and every possibility was explored. The community came together in a show of strength, with volunteers and law enforcement officials working tirelessly to find the missing girl. But despite the tireless efforts of law enforcement and community volunteers, Sierra was never found. And for years, her family and friends were left with nothing but questions and heartache. Though her body was never found, but I am always hoping that one day we'll find her.
I know she's feeling that we're searching. I know that deep down, and I continue to pray for her to have strength to do whatever it takes.
It wasn't until 2 months after Sierra's disappearance that police finally made an arrest. The suspect, Antolin Garcia Torres, was a local resident with a criminal history. But what they uncovered during their investigation was even more shocking than anyone could have imagined. We knew early on that we were dealing with something sinister, but as we dug deeper, we uncovered a killer's darkest secret. In this documentary, we will explore the mystery of Sierra Lamar's disappearance and the shocking truth that was revealed about her killer. The disappearance of Sierra Lamar. It was a crisp morning in Morgan Hill, California, on March 16, 2012, when a 15-year-old girl named Sierra Lamar vanished on her way to school. A vibrant teenager not only shattered the sense of safety in this tight-knit community, but sent shockwaves across the nation. Her family and friends immediately reported her missing, and a massive search effort was launched to find her. What followed was one of the most extensive searches in the history of the state. The sun rose that day, but something felt different in the air. Parents clung to their children a little tighter, and every passing moment only intensified the sense of dread that something terrible had happened. Sierra's family, her friends, and her classmates all searched frantically for any sign of her, but it was as if she had vanished without a trace. The search for Sierra. As soon as the news of Sierra Lamar's disappearance spread, the community and authorities launched an extensive search effort. Hundreds of volunteers, law enforcement officials, and search and rescue teams scoured the area for any sign of the missing teenager. Search parties were organized and sent out to cover the vast expanse of the area where Sierra was last seen. The teams consisted of highly trained professionals and local volunteers who worked tirelessly to locate any clues that might lead to Sierra's whereabouts. The search efforts included the use of helicopters, dogs, and advanced technology, such as drones and sonar equipment. But despite the extensive resources used, the search proved to be challenging due to the vast and rugged terrain of the area. As days turned into weeks, the search for Sierra became more desperate, and the community turned to social media to aid the search effort. Sierra's disappearance went viral on social media, and people from all over the world shared her picture and information about her last known whereabouts. The community also organized candlelight vigils and rallies, spreading awareness and keeping Sierra's name in the public eye. Social media helped in organizing search parties and keeping people informed about the latest developments on the case. But despite the extensive search efforts and the community's dedication, Sierra was still nowhere to be found. The search for Sierra Lamar had become one of the largest and most complex searches in California's history. The question on everyone's mind was, what had happened to Sierra Lamar? Well, the search continued, and it suddenly shifted focus to finding her remains and bringing closure to her family. And that's when a crucial piece of evidence was found: Sierra's cell phone, discarded on the side of the road. The phone was a crucial break in the case. as it led investigators to a suspect, a man named Antolin Garcia Torres. He had been seen in the area where Sierra's phone was found, and his DNA was later found on her clothing that was discovered near a field. Garcia Torres was arrested and charged with Sierra's kidnapping and murder, and a trial was set to begin. The investigation and trial of Antolin Garcia Torres. The discovery of Sierra's DNA in Antolin Garcia Torres' car led to his arrest and a high-profile trial. The trial was closely followed by the media and the public eager for justice to be served for Sierra's disappearance. During the trial, the prosecution presented evidence linking Garcia Torres to Sierra's disappearance. This included forensic evidence, such as DNA found in his car and on Sierra's clothes found in his trunk. Witnesses also testified that they had seen Garcia Torres in the area where Sierra disappeared on the day of her disappearance. However, Garcia Torres maintained his innocence throughout the trial. His defense team argued that there was no direct evidence linking him to the crime, and that the prosecution's case relied on circumstantial evidence. Despite this, on May 9, 2017, Garcia Torres was found guilty of kidnapping and murdering Sierra Lamar. The trial was emotionally charged, with Sierra's family and friends seeking justice for her and Garcia Torres' family supporting him. The verdict brought some closure to Sierra's family and friends, but they still had to cope with the tragedy of her death. The trial also raised questions about how the justice system deals with cases of missing children and the importance of DNA evidence in solving crimes.
Nothing will take away the pain and the sorrow that we experience every day.
After a lengthy trial that lasted several months, Antolin Garcia Torres was found guilty of the kidnapping and murder of Sierra Lamar. The verdict was delivered by a jury of his peers, who heard all sides of evidence presented by the prosecution and the defense. The sentencing phase of the trial was equally emotional, with Sierra's family and friends delivering victim impact statements to the court. They spoke of the devastating impact her murder had on their lives and how they would never fully recover from the loss of their loved one. And finally, after much deliberation, the judge sentenced Garcia Torres to life in prison without the possibility of parole. The sentence was a relief to Sierra's family and friends, who had been waiting for justice for so long. However, despite the verdict and sentencing, many questions still remain unanswered about Sierra's disappearance and murder. The case continues to haunt the community and serve as a reminder of the need for safety measures and vigilance in protecting young people. The aftermath. The disappearance and murder of Sierra Lamar had a profound impact on our community. People were shocked and frightened that a young girl could be taken from her own neighborhood. The search for Sierra had brought the community together, with volunteers and law enforcement officers working tirelessly to find her. When her body was eventually discovered, the community was devastated. The emotional toll of Sierra's death was particularly hard on her family and friends. Sierra's mother, Marlene, became an advocate for missing children, using her experience to help other families going through similar tragedies. Her father, Steve, struggled with feelings of guilt, wondering if there was something he could have done to prevent his daughter's death. Sierra's siblings also struggled to come to terms with their loss, with her sister Danielle speaking publicly about the need for stronger laws to protect children. Despite the tragedy, Sierra's legacy lives on. She is remembered as a bright and caring young woman with a contagious smile and a love for music. In her memory, the Sierra Lamar Foundation was established to provide resources and support for families of missing children. The foundation also provides scholarships for local students and supports community programs. Sierra's story continues to inspire others to take action against violence and injustice. Her legacy serves as a reminder to cherish the people we love and to work towards a safer world and more compassionate one as well. Lesson learned. Well, Sierra Lamar's tragic case is a stark reminder of the importance of safety measures for young people, especially girls. One of the key lessons that can be learned for Sierra's case is the importance of staying vigilant and aware of our surroundings at all times. Parents, guardians, and educators need to have an open and honest conversation with young people about the potential dangers they may face when out and about. It's crucial to discuss safety measures, such as walking in groups, staying in well-lit areas, and avoiding dark alleys and isolated areas. In addition, the community has an important role to play in preventing future crimes. It's important to report any suspicious behavior to the authorities and to be aware of our neighbors and surroundings. As Sierra's case demonstrated, sometimes the smallest piece of information can make all the difference in solving a crime. Furthermore, Sierra's case highlights the importance of having a robust criminal justice system in place that ensures swift and fair justice for victims and their families. It's important for law enforcement agencies to have the resources they need to conduct thorough investigations and bring perpetrators to justice. Overall, the lessons learned from Sierra's case are crucial in helping to prevent future tragedies and keeping our communities safe. As the documentary on Sierra Lamar comes to a close, it is important to summarize the key points that were discussed. We have explored the events leading up to Sierra's disappearance, the search efforts to find her, and the trial and conviction of Antolin Garcia Torres for her murder. Sierra's story is a tragic one that has had a profound impact on her community, her family, and her friends. It is important to remember her in the life she lived, as well as to ensure that her memory is not forgotten. As we reflect on Sierra's case, it is clear that there are important life lessons to be learned. We must prioritize the safety of young people, particularly girls, and take necessary measures to prevent similar tragedies from occurring in the future. It is also vital for the community to play an active role in reporting any suspicious behavior and working with law enforcement to prevent crimes. Sierra's case serves as a reminder of the importance of vigilance and looking out for one another. In conclusion, we hope that this documentary has shed light on the story of Sierra Lamar and the impact that her disappearance and murder had on those who knew her. Sierra Lamar's murder was indeed a killer's darkest secret, and through our continued efforts to remember her, we can work towards a brighter, safer future for all. We encourage viewers to take action in their own communities to prevent similar tragedies and to keep Sierra's memory alive.